Hey, Dan, wake up. It's time for another segment of the Dan and Steve Show.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was just reading some paid search ad copy.
Oh, that stuff can be pretty boring. Pretty boring. Lots of keywords, lots of stuffing. It's like Thanksgiving dinner, right? Keywords stuffed everywhere. Tell me why it's not all about keywords and ad copy, Dan.
I mean, there's best practices, and oftentimes best practices will steer you in the right direction. But when you're staring at a page and there's 10 ads that are all selling the same thing and all saying the same thing, and you have that split second to make that impression, oftentimes creativity is lost from the paid search ad copy process.
So you really need to speak to the user when you're writing ad copy, right? And you need to be able to test your ad copy to make sense of it all, so you understand what you're doing in that split second you have to make an impression.
Yeah, and understand what your competition is saying and understanding that you need to say something different. Remembering, again, this is marketing and not just advertising and not just data and search tactics. So there's a lot of new tools that are available to us. So ad extensions, callouts, expanded site links, which gives us more characters to play with. But you still have a lot to say and very little room to say it. So oftentimes brand managers or some of these long marketing messages from display and offline campaigns, trying to stuff that into paid search oftentimes leaves you with a lot of limitations.
So what you're saying is that some of these ad extensions are nice complements to the ad copy. They don't replace it, but it's still that fraction of a second. Use the tools wisely.
Use the tools wisely, and again, remember to be creative. So a lot of the ad customizers where you can use countdown copy. We've got clients in the Bahamas where we're actually pulling in the weather of the place where people are searching from. So customizing based on geography and getting creative. Remembering that we're marketers and not just paid search marketers.
So let's go back to the idea of what put you to sleep to begin with, keywords and ad copy. Give me some ideas for what we should be thinking about in our ad copy.
Keywords are important, but again, just like SEO nowadays, you don't want to overstuff with keywords. You want to be relevant, you have to be relevant, but anything you can do to be a little bit more creative is going to drive better results, help you differentiate, and anything you can do to increase that click-through rate, improve quality scores, while still pre-qualifying those clicks, is going to drive better results.
So if I can summarize, it's the idea that you've got to have keywords there, but don't drive all of your ad copy around keywords. Test some things, use the tools and ad extensions that are available, and don't just stuff it with keywords because you're going to put poor Dan to sleep again. Thanks for joining us on this segment of the Dan and Steve Show. See you again soon. Like what you're seeing? Subscribe.
Subscribe.
Subscribe.